Living the life.
Our first guest tonight.
First guest tonight, yes, of course. Our first guest is Lana Ahmed. She's a 17-year-old from the West Midlands who has stumbled on a new way to make money from her love of art.
Indeed. Well, Lana began customizing shoes when she ran out of canvas to paint on. After posting some pictures online, the orders started to come in. Welcome, Lana Ahmed. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Listen, I know the feeling, not that I'm into art, but I do remember a lot of people. I mean, I remember, you know, some of the shops, some of the arts and craft shops, there's massive queues outside.
Yes.
You know, the lockdown just basically gave people a chance to bake their cakes and all the rest of it. Now, look, I mean, what you've stumbled upon and what you've done, we're going to show some of that stuff later on. So one day you're sitting there painting, you're a bit artistic, and you think, I've run out of canvas. What inspired the idea?
Well, to be honest, I ran out of canvas, and then the material of Converse shoes is the same as canvas anyway. And so I just thought that it would be fun to do what I wanted to do on the canvas, on the Converse, and I just did it. And it was like this cartoon design. It was Rick and Morty, and I thought it was quite cool. And I just wanted to see how much interest it would get, like, you know, hypothetically speaking. And so I took a picture of it and I put it on Depop, and it actually got a lot of interest.
Wow.
Wow.
So it's a much smaller surface to work on, right? Is the shoe. So how easy was it to transfer from, you know, having this big canvas?
Well, your shoes, what
size? Because I mean, look at these, like a size 12,
these are like
right?
size 12. That wouldn't be difficult, would it?
There's a lot of room to paint there on the top.
So, I mean, you know, have you got a stand or something, or do you have to hold them in your hand, and how do you do it?
It was quite hard at the start because I don't think I did it properly, but as I practiced on more shoes, there were more techniques that I kind of like discovered, which made the process easier. It is quite hard because also when you're painting, it's painting on different texture, but actually I think it's more fun when it's smaller because you can add the details that you add, they're more significant. So I actually thought it was a lot more enjoyable to do.
So if every texture is different, then does it mean that you have to use a different paintbrush or a different type of paint as well?
The type of paint's the same. So I use acrylic for everything, which is quite good. But the type of paintbrush, it is different. And the type of processes that you do is different as well. Like for Air Force Ones and for Nike shoes, because they have like a factory finish, I need to use acetone just to wipe off the factory finish, and then I can paint on it.
Wow. So what did you start off drawing for, or I say painting? What was the first thing you painted on the shoe? And where did that idea come from?
So the first thing I painted was Rick and Morty. Have you heard of that?
Who?
Rick and Morty. Are they like
the cartoon characters?
Right? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not that old. We
not
know
that
our
old.
cartoons. I know Tom and Jerry.
What's that other one? The guy with the sheep lives on a farm.
Bagpuss? I don't know.
Oh, come to me. Go on.
Go.
Okay,
Rick
carry
and
on.
Morty. Rick and Morty.
Rick and Morty.
Yeah, so it was Rick and Morty just because I think I had watched it the day before, and that kind of inspired me because I thought that the colors were cool. And then from then orders came in, so I did what the orders were. So it really ranged a lot. I mean,
so when you say the orders came in, what does that mean?
So because I posted it on Depop, which is like an eBay sort of thing, I posted it, and then I said, message me back if you have any interest. And then I had a couple of people message me back. And there was one person who wanted a pair of shoes for her younger sister's birthday. And so she ordered a pair of Wreck-It Ralph Converse. And then when she ordered that, I thought that maybe I'd start painting on some of my other shoes with like very different designs, see what I like doing, and maybe see what people want to get.
So I'm assuming if I wanted to get a pair done, I would buy the trainers, get them delivered to your house. You'll then sit and paint them and then send them back to me.
No, so what you'd do is if you were interested, you'd message me through Depop or Instagram, and you'd tell me what pair of shoes you'd want, you know, what size and what design you'd want. And if you didn't know what design you'd want exactly, you'd tell me the theme. And then what I'd do is sort of sketch it out on my tablet and sort of give you an idea of what the shoes would look like. And then what I would do is I would order the shoes, they'd come to me, I'd paint them, and then I'd send them back to you.
Wow. So Lana, do people actually wear these, or do they use it as a piece of art to display?
A lot of people do just buy these and keep them as like collectibles or whatever for any like set that they have. But people can actually wear them, and a lot of people do, because at the end I spray it a couple of times with sealer, which means that the paint won't crack, and also it's waterproof as well. So they are very
Wow.
durable.
Actually, the paint cracking is not a bad idea because it gives that rough one
That's it,
feel.
the rustic feel, right?
Well,
Yeah.
look, we're going to have a look at some of the ones that you've done so far, and I was very impressed. So let's have a look at these. Let's have a look at this. It's coming up just now. There's some of the stuff that you've already done. Right, this is fantastic. What's this one? This is brilliant.
James
What does it say?
Daniels?
Jonathan.
Jonathan Daniels.
Who's Jonathan Daniels? Or is it James?
James Khan. No, I can't
No.
read it from here.
Are you looking at the brown pair of Converse?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Oh, it's got
this
the
was
fist.
this was a pair of shoes that I did for the Black Lives Matter movement.
Ah,
And-
I see the
Yes,
fist.
the fist is
Yep.
there. Yep.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And so one side was the Black Lives Matter movement fist, and
Yeah.
that was for all, you know, the people who had been killed
Sure.
due to police brutality. And the other side were basically people who have also been killed due to police brutality, but that supported those rights, you know, back in like the 60s and 70s. So people like Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X. But it was really interesting because as I was writing
wow.
the name, I also read all their stories. So that was a really important
I love that.
project.
Did somebody order these?
No, so I did these for fun. My brother was going to throw these shoes away, and so I thought, no, just let me have them, and I'll do something on them. And then I just painted it. I felt like doing it.
Have you
Oh,
sold
I like
them
that.
now?
I like that saying, look,
Yeah,
that's not a chip
brilliant.
on my shoulder.
Have
that's
you
a
sold
foot
them
on my
now?
neck. Beautiful.
Sorry,
Have you sold these?
I can't sell these pair. I think they just mean too much to me that I just
Listen, put
these,
them up on an
I don't
auction.
wear these.
They'll make a small fortune, I think. Let's have a look at some more because I think they'll make a small fortune. I can't listen. That would do really well. That would make a small. Honestly, and again, so this is just an idea, or somebody ordered it.
So you've
Oh,
got
this
the
is one.
I can't
This is the one
breathe.
that says "I can't breathe." Sorry, you can't see this one.
Yeah.
It says "I can't
So that-
breathe."
Yeah, that was part of the same pair. So I literally did 4 completely different sides.
Okay.
But that was the same pair. Because I think when I did it, the whole incident, the whole thing with George Floyd, it happened really recently.
Yes.
And so I just wanted to make a piece of art to
And
project.
on that note, is anybody else actually doing this stuff? You know, painting trainers.
There are a few people because it is very in demand, and once you get the hang of it, it's really fun, and so a lot of people do like to do it. But I think there's like a certain stage where you pass it, where it's like where you pass the stencils and you just pass block colors, where it does get very, very hard. So like drawing detailed things or drawing things like characters, that can be very difficult to do because it's all about proportions, and drawing proportions on shoes is very, very difficult.
Lana, how much does that cost? How much would somebody pay for something like this?
So it depends on, number one, the shoe, but also the size and the complexity of the design. So usually it would cost around 130 to 150.
That's including the set of trainers.
Yeah, that's including the trainers.
Right. Okay. Listen, we're gonna show some more because it's absolutely fascinating. There's a few more coming up on the screen, as in now. Now this one it's got a green thingy on it, and goodness knows what is that? It's a pair of Converse as well. There's a green little.
Is it a green emoji?
I don't
Yeah.
know. And it's
That's-
got a blue sky. What's that one?
Converse. Is that the Converse pair?
Yes.
That is the Converse
It's
pair.
the it's the kind of boots.
So this was my first actual order.
Oh wow.
And this was the pair that I told you that somebody ordered for her younger sister's
Yes.
birthday.
Yes.
It's for Wreck-It Ralph, and this was completely like new to me. I hadn't even watched
Brilliant.
Wreck-It Ralph.
What's
and
it called?
Wreck-It Ralph. It's this Disney movie.
Wreck-It Ralph. Yes.
Wreck-It. Oh, him.
Yes.
Yeah, that guy.
He used to be a game when we were kids.
It looks a bit like us, he does. All right, let's have a look at the next pair. There's another couple, I think. This one, oh my goodness. Oh, that's the same one to the other side of that. What's the next ones? Let's have a look. There's another 1 or 2, I think, coming up. We're going to see if we can get them on the screen. This one is it's a Nike Pink and white.
Oh, yes. This was my first Louis Vuitton pair, so it's a patterned one. So this was really fun to do actually because it was the first time that I did like a solid pattern. This is the first time that I
Brilliant.
used stencils as well.
So Lana, tell
Fantastic.
me, is this scope to upcycle here? Because you know everyone's changing, right? Everyone's now talking about upcycling and not throwing things away. Do you think that could also be something that people thinking, I've got this old tired pair of shoes? Can we do that? Can we work on those?
That's actually very similar to something that I'm working on right now. So what I've been doing is that there are a lot of shoes on eBay where people have bought and they're brand new, but they don't fit them, so they sell them for a lot cheaper. So I have bought some of those pairs, and they're like an average size, so size 5 for women. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do different designs on them and then sell them. So that way it's like, it's already a pair of shoes that weren't being used before, but then I could also do a design that I want and then sell them to somebody who wants them. So it kind of works
What are
out.
you doing at university at the moment, at college? What are you doing?
So I'm doing A levels right now, and I'm doing maths, physics, and business.
So it's got nothing to do with art.
No, I never really studied art. Like I never did it for GCSE, and I didn't really do it much during lessons. But it's just something that I've always enjoyed, like as a hobby for myself.
And talking about enjoyment, what's more enjoyable, making money or painting the shoes?
Oh, that's a hard one. I think it's more enjoyable because it's making money. Because I wanted a part-time job as well. But I think doing this, it's like it's quite beneficial for me, and it's not like I'm just wasting my time.
So speaking as someone who did a chemistry degree, forget the science, waste of time. Go with the creative juices. Dad, Mum and Dad, if you're listening, there's no money in science. Get into the art, honestly.
Get into trainers. Well, look, just before we leave you, we're not going to leave you because we're going to keep you until the end of the show. Show us a pair that you can make while the show's ongoing, and we'll have a look at it at the end and see how far you've got. You've got something prepared for us.
Yes. So this is the pair of shoes that I'm working on right now. And so there's a faint pencil, and then there's some pen on top of it. And hopefully by the time I show you again, it will be a bit more clearer what it is.
Listen, some of these are going to become collector's items one day. I can see it. Without a doubt, especially depending on what you obviously put on it. So we're going to let you work on that and come back to you at the end of the show to see where you've got to. And absolutely brilliant. Your parents must be proud of you. What about your siblings? Are they a bit kind of envious, thinking, oh my God, she's making money out of sitting at home doing nothing?
What, my siblings?
Yeah.
Oh no, my siblings they do loads of things as well. My brother's also very into art as well, which is good because we share a lot of the same like resources, and
Brilliant.
so and it's really fun to share that with somebody actually.
Fantastic. Well, listen, you get the paintbrushes out and all the acrylics and all those sealers and all the rest of it. We're going to see you at the end of the show and see what you've created. All right?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Jazakallah khair.
Fantastic.
Let's see how she's getting on. Lana, assalamu alaikum. Welcome back. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Right, let's have a look.
So.
Wow. Right.
Oh, wonderful.
Okay, so what? I mean, we saw that design. So tell us what the design is once again.
So this is from my favorite painting by Hokusai, which is a Japanese artist who painted in the Edo period. And this is his painting called The Great Wave of Kanagawa. So, yeah.
Brilliant.
The Great
So
Wave
what have you used on that? What are the pens or what are the paints? What have you used?
So the base I did first was a pencil, just so I knew the proportions. And then what I used was a permanent marker. So I used a CD marker because you can use a CD marker, and when you paint on it, it actually shows through the paint. And then after that, I just used a variety of acrylic paints. So all different shades of blue.
Fantastic. Now, the thing is, we obviously gave you a very short amount of time. It's about 20 minutes to start.
Literally.
How long would it normally take you, or how long will it take you, rather, to complete that whole shoe?
I think this would take me definitely a long time because it's recreating an actual painting. So there's a lot of details to it. I would say if I was taking my time on it, the pair of shoes could take me maybe 5 hours.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Well, listen, we're going to give you a chance. Bassett, take your shoe off. Let's have a look. Take it off. Come
Take
on.
it off, there you go.
Right. Lana, this brown shoe here,
Yeah.
can you see that? This brown shoe. What would you do with that?
Yeah.
What would you do with that?
Oh, I don't know. You could do a lot of things with that, to be honest.
Just give us an idea what you might do with that, because Bassett wants to do something a little bit different for his next meeting.
I know. So I need to look a bit trendy when I meet my clients, you see. So something a bit better than brown.
Well, what do you work in? Like, what's
He's
your
in
job?
finance.
I'm a finance tax guy. All numbers. I'm a numbers
You
guy.
could put dollar
Pound
signs and
signs,
stuff on
dollar
it.
signs,
Pound
yeah.
signs.
You could put dollar signs, and you could do like I could do money bills on there.
Oh, see, that would look good.
Right, listen,
Yes.
after the show, give us your details. We'll send this off to you and let's have them ready for the next show. Right, brilliant. Listen, absolutely great. Keep up the fantastic work, because we're really impressed with what you've done, mashallah. And, it's great to see
Yes.
people generally, especially young people, putting their time to some effort, especially in the lockdown. And at the same time, you're doing your studies as well.
Yes, yeah, I am.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Allah bless you and protect you and give you more success, inshallah. And
Ameen.
we'll put these Bassett's
Absolutely.
trainer
Oh,
shoes in the
and Lana,
post.
do tell us if people want
what's
to
that?
get in touch.
Exactly.
Yes.
How do they get in touch with you?
Oh, so they can get in touch with me through DMs on Instagram.
What's the Instagram handle?
My Instagram's handle is aikyo.custom, so AIKYO.customs.
AIKYO.
YO.
ICO.
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 IKO? IKO.
Yeah.
IKO Custom.
Customs. Brilliant. Okay. That's
Yeah,
Instagram.
IKO.
And what's this new eBay thing that you mentioned?
Depot.
Depot. I was in
Depot.
depot.
I think so. Is it depot? Does that mean depot?
Depop. It's just this Instagram. It's just this like Instagram, eBay sort of thing for young adults and teenagers.
It's for youngsters.
not
That's
for
why
you.
we don't know. That's why we haven't got a clue.
Right, brilliant. Jazakallah khair. And we look forward to seeing you again sometime. Maybe next time we can try and get you live in the studio with a pair of trainers
Yeah.
and see you working on them, inshallah.
That would be amazing. Thank
All
you.
right, Jazakallah khair.
Excellent.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Living the life.